All right. What's going on? Sunday night, so we're gonna do a vintage preliminary event. This is a pretty cool brew. We played against this in round 6 of the challenge yesterday. This is a Jose Ortiz deck. Really cool brew that Jose put together. It's an Oath of Druids deck, but it's also a Show and Tell deck. It's playing a bunch of Tinker, Show and Tell, and Oath targets in the form of Iona, Grizzlebrand, Sphinx, and Bolus Citadel. It's a pretty cool list. It looks like something that you might see Miharu play in Oath with the 3 tropicals, 3 volcanics, Oko Oath Shell, but leaning more on the combo heavy portion with the extra Show and Tell Tinker package. So I've never played this deck. I've played a little bit of Miharu Oath, so I have a decent idea of how it functions, but I'm not going to go as far as saying I'm an expert by any means. So hopefully we can figure it out as we go and pull out some wins today. Let's see. This is round 1. Let's do it. Interesting. So I'm going to keep this hand. We're going to start by taxing, probing our opponent and seeing what they have, but it's likely our play is going to be Black Lotus Narset. Although Narset doesn't find lands, it does get 2 spells. This draws a card, and we do have some other things we need. If we draw, if we see like a way where maybe we want to Show and Tell an Oath off of like information from Probe, maybe we do that. Maybe we draw a big creature off of it, and then we can Show and Tell there. So there's a couple different options, but I think the most likely play is going to be Black Lotus Narset. We'll see what happens though. Iona actually beats a lot of decks in Vintage. A lot of people are very narrow on their colors. All right, let's start with Probe and see what Viceroy is up to tonight. Bizarre. Well, we're definitely not casting Show and Tell and giving our opponent a Bizarre. The good news is if we go Lotus Narset, they only have 1 Force of Will, which means it'll be hard for them to use their Bizarre effectively. They will still be able to discard 3 cards and play a hollow one, but we're going to be in pretty decent shape. So, the nice thing is they'll probably have to go in on this hollow one, and then we should be able to Oath them once we draw mana sources. So, it'll be pretty reasonable. Though obviously the current problem is that Narset does not find lands. She in fact bottoms lands. So I have some Moxen in this list. I'm not sure how many. Oh, I have a full suite of Moxen. That's good. All right, so Narcomoeba and Force of Will are gone. We did just resolve a Narset before Bazaar could put Dredgers in the yard, which is very, very effective. All right, so we have an Ancestral Recall now. We only bottomed 1 land, so that's not too bad. Now we just need to find more lands. They are going to give us the ability to Oath by... I think it's fair to say opponent's going to draw a card, play Bazaar, discard 3 cards. Hollow 1 Therapy, Therapy, Force of Will, Serum Powder, or a Dredger or something. If they drew a Dredger, then that's a good thing to pitch. And then they can just play a Hollow 1 for free, which will threaten the Narset. If they don't draw a Dredger, they probably are more forced to do this, but if they do draw a Dredger, then they don't have to like go in on the Hollow 1 or anything. But this is actually a pretty decent start. If we had lands, it'd be super good, obviously. Opponent could choose not to activate a Bazaar on their turn. And the upside of that is they'll draw 1 card if they activate it on my turn. And then if they find a Dredger, then dredging gets around Narset. As long as you're dredging for the first time. As long as the first card you would draw on the turn is dredging, it gets around. So what Narset's going to do here is, because they have no Dredgers, it's going to block the draw 2 cards. They're just going to discard 3 cards. However, discarding 3 cards does make Hollow 1 cost nothing. You can look at the cardboard live, but I think it's Iona, Sphinx, and Grizzlebrand. All right, so they discarded. They drew a okay, so they discarded this, and they're leaving themselves with a Force of Will. So the Hollow One can kill the Narset next turn, and that will turn on their Bazaar, but they have no dredging right now, so we're in a decent spot. They have a Force of Will, but they have no blue card, so any blue land gives us access to Ancestral. Oh, okay, they're going to take the Ancestral Recall with Cabal Therapy. That makes sense, too. That's a good play. Yeah, that's a good play. We just want to hit lands. We just want to hit lands. And Moxen. What's up, Joe? This is a good play. I mean, I'm still always getting Ancestral off this Narset, so. Not a big deal. Like, hopefully we draw a land for a turn, and then our Narset finds a Moxen. We cast Oath of Druids or Time Walk, depending on what colors, should be fine. Did not hit the land. All right. Theoretically, I could not activate this Narset, but I think the chance of finding one of the 5 Moxen is pretty high, so I think it's worth it. All right, we didn't find a Moxen, and we lost another land. Can't find Lotus because we used Lotus to play the Narset on turn 1. All right, well, our Narset will die to this zombie, and then opponent has the ability to activate Bazaar, and we're still in an okay spot because we have a Force of Will backing up, an Oath. So we just need a little help. There were only 2 lands in our top 11 cards, so it would have been a pretty hard game if we didn't have the Narset. Obviously, this can go south pretty quickly. So it looks like opponent did not find a blue card, or they might have held their Bazaar. But the minute they find Dredgers, this goes downhill real quickly. We really need to find a land like this turn, I think. All right, they found 1 Dredger, but it's a pretty weak Dredger, so just need to find a land. I just didn't find a land. I guess we're gonna lose this game. Awful. I mean, obviously, we know that Narset can't find land, so it's always a risk, but. Alright, they missed on Dredgers there, so that's good. Oh, they have Therapy now, so they can hit Oath. They want. Yo, how's it going? Hope you're well as well. I mean, I feel like if we just hit a land drop, then we get to Brainstorm, look 3 deep for another land drop. And then I feel like we're in great shape, so I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure I would keep that hand again. I just don't think it worked out. There were only 2 lands and no Moxen in our top 12, which is. Alright, they're choosing not to Therapy and not to activate Bazaar. Alright, we hit the land drop. Beautiful. The question becomes, are we just supposed to Brainstorm? And I think the answer is yes. We know they have a Shambling Shell in their hand. Why would they keep that? Maybe they have a Force of Vigor? I'm not really sure. They know we have a Force of Will, so they should just be maximum Bazaaring. Alright, well, I'm pretty sure we're just supposed to Brainstorm. I don't know, maybe there's no reason to do it now, but. Maybe we should just hold Brainstorm for the Therapy. That's fair. Fair. Oh, maybe I was supposed to. Now if I draw Volcanic, I'll be pretty sad. Maybe I fucked that up. Maybe there's no reason not to wait, so there's no. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if I'm gonna wait, there's no reason to fetch, but. I guess holding Brainstorm for the Therapy is fine. Though we still need our Brainstorm to find a land. Okay, so there's the Shambling Shell, multiple Icarids, and a bridge. Only 1 Dredger, though. So it's really like opponent has whiffed pretty hard as well. They found only a shambling shell in their top 16. So opponent whiffed is about as much as we did actually, which is kind of funny. It made for at least a playable game, which is nice. Because if opponent didn't whiff as hard as we did, then we would have some problems. What a weird game. All right, so theoretically, our brainstorm hits a land. We jam an oath with force backup. Opponent is still getting 2 turns of bazaring, so it might not be good enough. We don't have crazy good oath targets for Dredge in game 1. In game 2, we get to bring in Blazing Archons. We kept a hand. It was Gataxian Probe, Black Lotus, Force of Will, Narset, Show and Tell, Oath, or something like that. We had a Gataxian Probe and a Force of Will backup Lotus for either Show and Tell or Narset or Oath. Theoretically, we were supposed to not go for Narset and go for Show and Tell and Oath into play, but I don't know. That felt weird. Maybe I was wrong though. All right, so this Dredge hit a Chill, which puts us to 11. It hit an Amalgam, which is pretty bad as well. So they did have Force of Vigor. I thought that's what they might have. I don't think we're actually going to be able to play, are we? How many black creatures do they have? I guess they would have to eat their Dredger with this Icarid to get the Amalgam into play. I guess they could eat the other Icarid. That's what they probably should do. Icarid, eat Icarid, hits me for 5 down to 6, and they get an Amalgam. I mean, the Narset was quite good against Bazaar, right? I would assume Icarid eats Icarid here. I mean, theoretically, if we hit 2 lands, what we can do is Time Walk, Oath of Druids, Pyroblast the prized Amalgam. Yeah, even if we resolve an Oath, I think we're still probably dead. I agree, but I was like, I mean, we didn't find any Moxen off of our Narset, and we didn't hit any lands off of our draw steps. So the 2 Archons are in the sideboard, yeah. I have your exact list, except I think I cut Sprees for Biforces. Maybe I think we have to brainstorm. Get 1 card deeper and guarantee a land drop. So we are going to get Therapied here, which we have to brainstorm to protect, I guess. I guess maybe we just can't win because they have a bridge. Like, I have to protect my Oath here and my Time Walk. I guess it's fine if we just protect Oath and Time Walk. I mean, we hit... Okay. So we hit both the lands we were looking for. So we have the play that we knew we were going to say. So if I just hide Oath, Time Walk, and then Volcanic, Time Walk, back fetch, Oath, Pyroblast. Yo, Chris, thanks for gifting Jose a sub. Appreciate it. Oh, baby. Everybody's getting subs tonight. So theoretically, we still die, right? We still die to the Icarid, right? So this doesn't actually do anything. Okay, so what I have to do instead is I just got rid of our Oath. What I need to do instead is crack a fetch and try to hit a Moxen off of this so I can tinker a Sphinx of the Steel Wind. That's actually what I need to do now. So I accidentally got rid of my Oath, but because the Oath is too slow, because even if I Pyroblast this, I take 5, and then I take 3 from Icarid and die. So what I need to do is I need to hit a Moxen, and then to tinker into a Sphinx. Still winnable. Still winnable. Alright. They wouldn't name Tinker because it wasn't in our hand. They were like 100% to name Force of Will, Show and Tell, or Oath of Druids, or Time Walk. It's fairly unlikely they would have named a Tinker. They also don't know Tinker's in my deck. Alright, Moxen. Oh, that's a really unfortunate game, but... So I assume that these just come out for these. Oh, I have an Emrakul in my deck too. Realize that. And then these would come in, and these would come in. And then... And then Pyroblast might come out. I don't know. Am I tinkering for Bolas here? Probably not, I would assume. Fair. Thanks, Diesel. These are ley lines too. Okay. I don't think Misstep is good. Usually not really a fan of most things. Do we even show and tell? Are we still showing? I guess we still can show and tell Blazing Archons. It's pretty good. Oko's pretty garbage. Probably still want Merchant Scroll. Gets Force of Will. Gets Daze. It's
Hey
probably
Justin,
Breach.
what is the best deck in Vintage and why is it for color Breach?
Probably Breach. I mean, I don't think Narset's great, but like, what do you want? Do you want me to play Flusterstorms instead? Or you want me to play like a Braid or something? I don't know. I don't really know what. We're pretty. I mean, we boarded in 10 cards. I think it's probably close. Oh, you want the Emrakul? Sure. Okay, fine. I accept. I don't know. You don't really need 5. I guess if we're playing Show and Tell, you do want more targets. I guess that's fair. You don't have Citadel anymore. That's fair. Okay. All right. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I was gonna say Oath and Tell. I think Jose says Othel or something crazy. Othel. All right. Yes. I have a ley line and multiple forces. It's probably good enough. I like Oath and Tell, but that's just me. I don't think this hand's outstanding, but I think having a ley line with backup for Force of Vigor is probably good enough. I guess we should still probe though. All right, they have a force. They have one hollow one and a wasteland. Do we have a island in our deck? There's no reason to. I'll play around Mindbreak Trap later. Do we have to force a hollow one, or what's the game plan here? We currently have no action. I bottomed on probe. Yeah, but they have to draw Force of Will and Force of Vigor and green card. Quite hard to do that. They'd have to draw quite well for that to happen. I'm not convinced we're going to be able to find both a threat and a way to put it into play in 5 hits or whatever. But I guess I'll try it. Therapy powder, hollow one, bizarre. I also can't play out this orchard. A good draw. Alright, well, I found it, chat. Alright, so we're just gonna immediately hit Archon by doing this, right? I guess we want to do it the other way because we don't want Lotus as our draw. They shouldn't be able to beat an Archon in play, so. Hmm. Creeping Chill doesn't beat Leyline of the Void. I guess I'm gonna hold that because there's really no reason to play that. All right, they've had enough, which is fair. All right, do we want to make any other changes? No. Show and tell enchantments. Show and tell a Leyline of the Void. Just value right there. You got a lot of Dredge hate. See that now. Leyline with force backup is pretty nice. I like it. I like it. Yeah, whatever. I can see it though. See it. All right, well let's get another Leyline hand. This one's not good enough. This one's not good enough. Let's mulligan. One Leyline to rule them all. Yeah, I'm probably keeping this. It's not fantastic against Dredge. It's definitely very risky, but I think it's probably worth doing. You got to be very careful keeping just Leyline hands versus Dredge. It's just not in 2020. It tends to not be good enough. Opponent, no, they snap kept their 7. There was no mulliganing. Oh my god, we're just gonna get vigored if we do this, right? We're like 1000% to get vigored. I don't want to get vigored and lose on the spot. What if we wait one turn? I don't know if you want to preordain first. That runs into Mind Break Trap. I don't care anymore. No, I don't want to preordain. I don't want to preordain. All right, they just had Force of Will. I guess I shouldn't have played this out. I should have played Lotus Oath. Because now I don't really want to use this preordain. It's fine. It's just one. It's just one. What's the end? It's not the end of the world. Oh yeah, I don't like how I played that. Merchant Scroll Sapphire. I think I want to keep both of these, but I'm going to hold the Sapphire in my hand, and then next turn go Tropical Island Scroll on their turn Ancestral. Could be wrong. My plan, though. Alright, so they had a Force of Will, but not a Force of Vigor. They don't have hollow ones, clearly, or they'd be casting them. But they're also not activating Bazaar at all, which kind of signals to me that they have another Force of Will, but maybe a negation. They should just negate this if they have it. Alright, I'm not going to Ancestral on my turn. That seems pretty silly. I will definitely do it in their upkeep, though. It might have been greedy for me to keep Sapphire, but I like it a lot, actually. Yeah, that sounds like Bazaar in 2020. All right. They go to 4 cards. All right. Nope. Totally not happening. Definitely not happening. No way I'm playing into Mind Break Trap or Force of Negation for no reason. And they found another Force of Will. Force of Will, pitching Force of Will. I did give them 2 spirits, though, because of my misplay on turn 1. I should have led this on turn 1. I should have played Oath off of Black Lotus, not shown them that I had an Orchard. It was a really bad misplay, and now they have 2 spirits, so it's gonna come back and haunt me for sure. It was a really, really bad misplay, just playing the wrong land on turn 1 and the wrong sequencing. But whatever. What happens when you don't play Oath and then play Oath? Hey. I mean, we have the top deck, and we only have 9 turns, so we did get 3 of their Force of Wills. So theoretically, our next threat is going to win the game. But there's not that many. I guess we can draw Tinker, 3 Oath of Druids, cantrips. I don't know what they're tanking on. Like, they should probably... All right, here we go. Find a Hollow Boy. Did you find a Hollow Boy? Oh, yeah, we got Tabernacles. Yeah. There's a Hollow Boy. All right, there's 2 Hollow ones? So they had Force of Vigor, but no green card. All right, this is a 2-turn clock. We need to Tabernacle or Oath now. We drew Praising Archon, so we can draw Show and Tell. Show and Tell and Tabernacle are my outs. It's a classic, they don't give a shit about Leyline hand. A Braid also buys me 1 turn. I mean, it's hard to prepare for the double hollow one after they spent a million spells and didn't activate their bazaar, but whatever. Reasonable magic card for sure. All right, we still have Tabernacles, Show and Tell, Tinker, yeah, cantrips. Never mind. They top decked Wasteland, so now we don't have Tabernacle. I love Dredge. Opponent didn't even activate Bazaar like half the turns in this game. They just naturally had triple Force of Will, Bazaar, Force of Vigor, double Hollow one, so reasonable. All right, Show and Tell, baby, please. Eek, that's almost Show and Tell. Show and Tell? This game sucks. I feel like we just got savagely outdrawn. Ooh, we were never winning. Oh, we were never ever. Oh, we were just never ever winning. Yeah, see. Wonderful. Probably Dredge. Dredge is like a better deck, but I definitely like playing Hogak more.